This new world contains resources China needs. Its peoples can become tributaries of the emperor. Its lands can absorb China's surplus population. The wealth and glory it offers justify continued maritime expeditions. The emperor is intrigued, but the Confucian officials remain skeptical. The debate at court becomes intense. Supporters of maritime expansion argue that China must claim these new lands before other civilizations discover them. Opponents counter that resources should focus on domestic concerns and northern defenses. The compromise that emerges reflects typical Chinese bureaucratic logic. The treasure fleet program will continue, but with modified mission. Future expeditions will focus on establishing and supplying the American settlement, rather than prestige voyages around the Indian Ocean. The settlement must prove it can generate enough value to justify the expense. If the American colony becomes self-sustaining and produces tribute worth sending, the expansion continues. If not, the settlers are on their own, and no further resources will be allocated. This decision, seemingly a cautious middle path, opens the door for systematic Chinese colonization. The second expedition arrives at the settlement after more than a year. The original 300 colonists have survived, barely. Disease killed many. Conflicts with indigenous peoples claimed others. But the survivors have learned crucial lessons about the environment and established tentative relationships with nearby tribes. The second expedition brings reinforcements, more supplies, livestock, seeds for Chinese crops, and most importantly, more ships and sailors. The colony is reinforced and expanded. The pattern repeats over the following decades. Every few years, an expedition from China arrives with more settlers, supplies, and instructions. The colony grows from a precarious foothold to a substantial settlement. Chinese agricultural techniques prove highly effective in the American environment. Rice paddies are established. Wheat fields expand. Chinese metallurgy gives colonists enormous advantages over indigenous peoples. The demographic impact is dramatic. Chinese colonists bring diseases that devastate indigenous populations, just as European diseases did in our timeline. But they also bring a centralized imperial system that attempts to incorporate rather than merely displace indigenous peoples.